Hey, fellas, let's go win this game and get back on the road and head home.
Hey, our house on 2. 1, 2, our house.
The 2025 high school football season is halfway through once we wrap up tonight. Some teams continuing their march through district play, while others hope to put on for the 225.
Hit him.
Some say it's the best night of the week, and we tend to agree. So sit back and relax.
Hey, let's go.
45 plus minutes of excitement coming up. It's week 5 of Sportsline Friday night, and it starts right now. Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome into another edition of Sportsline Friday night with Kevin Baptiste. I'm John Eads, 9 Sports Director Jacques Doucet on vacation for the weekend, so we're holding it down here. And Kevin, we're already halfway through the regular season, as you just heard, which is a bummer, but this is the time when those district games really start to heat up. We get some good ones. We had one on Thursday night, though, a non-district game between a 5A and a 1A opponent, and it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, you still got, some of those teams still working out those last few games of non-district play before they get locked into the games that really matter. But as you say, Denham Springs, Southern Lab, 2 programs, really passionate fan bases, some real history, and they battled last night at the Bluff with the Southern Lab Chilies. They were ready, the pink pom-poms in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Southern Lab got the ball to start, but Denham Springs offense was having none of it as Cedric Polk is the first person to get in there for the tackle for loss. That gets to the Yellow Jackets offense, and Dejon Goldman is going to keep it himself, roll to his right. Can't find anyone, so he's going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. The PAT was no good, so 6-0 at the Yellow Jackets get the first points of the game. Southern Lab's offense, let's see if they can respond. Ricard drops back, but again, Denham Springs defense is having none of it. Devin Mack is the first one to get in the backfield for the sack, and they're going to get it back to their offense. And here we go again. Mr. Dejon Goldman calls his own number. It's going to eventually be brought down, but not before picking up the first down. And then a few plays later, it's going to be the Goldman to Goldman future law firm right here. The twin brothers, Dejon Goldman to Deshaun Goldman for the touchdown, 13-0 as the Yellow Jackets had it going on the Bluff. Second quarter now. Denham Springs threatening again, and they cash in again. Dejon Goldman to Trey Seals in the end zone, 20-0 Yellow Jackets all over Southern Lab. The Kids would not be shut out in this one. They're going to finally hit pay dirt as Ricard is going to hit Jace Wright for the touchdown, 20-6. But this one is all Denham Springs, folks. When we look at the final score, 41-14. It's Denham Springs. They're going to be locked and loaded for district play soon.
That's a good bounce-back win. They had that tough one against EA last week that went down to the wire, lost by 6, and a great response there 1 week. On a short week, too, actually. So.
Yes, sir. All right, now let's go to a district contest. 6-3-8 tonight, Madison Prep in Parkview. The Chargers band and dance team were really blasting as their Chargers led 14-3. Second quarter, MP with the ball. And check out Landon Johnson rolling to his right, hits Keon Robinson. Robinson had the first down, but he is thinking touchdown, and that's what he gets. And now he's going to do his dance. It's 22-3 Madison Prep after the made 2-point conversion. Later in the quarter. Now that last play from Johnson was good, but this is like play of the year worthy. Check this out from the former Sportsline player of the week. Rolls to his right, dodges off a would-be tackler, dodges off the same would-be tackler, dodges off another would-be tackler. He's beyond midfield, John. Still rolling. He's just going to throw it up. There's no way he gets away with this, right? Right? He gets away with it as the ball goes to the hands of Malachi Dunn for the first down. Move the chains. Randall Cunningham, Michael Vick, Johnny Manziel, anyone?
Something like that. He's wearing number 7, too, right? It's a right-handed Vick.
That's what he was, but it's all for nothing as they're going to mishandle the snap on the next play, and Parkview pounces on it. But Parkview's in their own end zone. They got to be careful, and they are not. As Cannon Walker gets the strip, Javen Holmes jumps on it for the touchdown. 30-3 Madison Prep. So I guess the big play did not go to waste after all. I mean, the defense reaped the benefits.
Yeah.
As it looked like Madison Prep had no issues in this one. If we go for a final score, 55-3 still in the fourth quarter. I don't know if we even need to update the final. It looked like Madison Prep is going to run away with that one.
That's a statement win because in that district, you thought maybe after what Parkview did last week to St. Martinville, they might be a contender there.
Yeah.
But it appears it's going to be Madison Prep and U-High, and that game's coming up in a few weeks. So
those two always battling for that district. All right, we're just getting started on Sportsline Friday night. Y'all stay right there.
The show about those big district battles, and this may have been the best one in town this evening. Dutchtown invading the pit, taking on Santa Maria, trying to hand the Gators their first loss of the season. This was a great game last year. Spoiler alert, great this year as well. That's Owen Fletcher running in for the touchdown. You saw the celebration, though. A flag would come out for that, for excessive celebrating, and that would set up Santa Maria with good field position after the Griffins take the 7-0 lead. And, hey, you know, Cooper Babbitt saying, Owen, I can run too, bud. Spinning out of defenders, stiff-arming a tackler, and down inside the 1-yard line. And Babbitt did all the dirty work, so he may as well reap the benefits of it. Little 1-2 juke. Puts the shoulder down and scores, showing you pretty much everything in his repertoire on that drive, and that ties the game at 7. Next drive, Babbitt going to fake, keep it, well blocked, bounces it outside, pancake. The receiver's even helping him out, and he is off to the races. Couldn't quite make it all the way there, though. He gains 80 yards, setting up Jordan Hickerson from short yardage, takes the give up the middle and over the goal line, just kind of like we saw from the highlights last week against Scotlandville. 14-7, Santa Maria takes the lead. The smoke from that cannon blast after that touchdown, of course, they fire the cannons at the pit after scores.
And they can't scare you.
Still in the air. Was not clear. And this is Martell Rogers, while all that smoke is clearing, taking the ensuing kickoff all the way back to the house to tie the game at 14-all. But Santa Maria with another answer. This was kind of like a pinball match. Just it goes one way, it goes back the other way. Deep ball. Anyone out there? Yes. Landon Blanchard tracks it down, catches it, doesn't stop, takes it all the way to the end zone, and the Gators back in front, 21-14. And Santa Maria's defense would get a stop. Babbitt in the offense back with it before the half. Finds Jermichael Millian, puts on the brakes, beats the DB. Oh, he runs through another and falls into the end zone. That's a guy that tore his ACL, missed pretty much all of last season. You wouldn't think so right there. Looks pretty healthy to me. All right, second half, 28-28. Fletcher showing off the wheels. Again, two really good dual-threat quarterbacks in this game. I mean, this is exciting to watch. Decent game there, and then he'll show off the arm on this play. Little fly ball that's caught by the tight end, Carter Hedden. And Dutchtown takes the lead, 35-28. So the Griffins not going away. It's the last chance for Santa Maria. Close to the goal line, tipped, intercepted. Rogers, who had the kick return touchdown earlier with it, adding insult to injury with the return. And he finally is taken down, but not before the Griffins take over, waste away the clock, and celebrate a huge road district win, 35-28. The final score. How about that game?
Man, big win for Guy Mistretta and company. We always know District 5, 5A, it never ceases to amaze.
Yeah.
That district is always going to come down to the wire, and I expect the same this time around in that district. All right, let's go to another game. Zachary against Opelousas. Third straight week that the Broncos are playing an opponent from the 337. They played Acadiana, they played Karen Crow. Now they're playing 0-4 Opelousas. First quarter, Willie Johnson is going to hit Ethan Kimmy across the middle. He's eventually brought down, but moved those chains. That's a first down. So there we go. Yep. Get the point. Got
it doesn't count unless he signaled for the first down.
Exactly. Next is going to be Jeremy Payton headbutting his way into the end zone for the touchdown. The PAT was no good, so 6-0 Broncos. As we wait, first off, Payton got to do his dance.
Aura farming, as
there we go.
The kids say these days.
Of course. I'm not up to date with that one. All right, Opelousas is trying to respond. Jalen Owens' pass is going to be intercepted by Galen Conrad, and he has got a convoy in front of him. Well, he's going to be knocked out of bounds, but a nice play from Mr. Conrad himself. And, he got to get his Kodak moment. Let him celebrate. Let him celebrate.
When you make a play, you get to celebrate.
Absolutely. So Broncos, see if the offense can do something with it. Kirby is going to hit Kimmy wide open. Is there any coverage out there?
Nope.
Nope, not by the looks of it. He's going to be taken down just inside the 10. So the Broncos offense seems like they're having no troubles in this one as their student section is loving it. And they're going to give it Tylik Lewis. Direct snap. Goes to the end zone for the touchdown, make it 13-0. Yeah, flash those LED lights at Broncos Stadium. They just got all the toys out there. Nice little scoreboard, all that stuff.
And good football.
Opelousas trying, they're trying, but nothing against the Broncos. Defense is going to be all over that one. Offense goes back to work. Kirby is going to hit Jeremy Payton, and he does the rest for the touchdown, 19-0. It seems like Zachary had no issues in that one. Look at the final score in this one, guys. There goes that dance again. 51-6, third straight win for Zachary over a team from the 337, and they remain undefeated.
Sometimes you worry about being sluggish coming off a bye week, but Zachary did not look sluggish at all. They always have good running backs, too. Nice 1-2 punch.
Oh, yeah, you know Bruce will have the crew ready. All right, so Episcopal, they were hosting Ascension Catholic tonight. Second half of the game, Episcopal, Ascension Catholic with the ball. Greg Fernandez hits Johnny Villalon for the big game. That's
nice. I asked him for the pronunciation last week.
There we go. That's going to set up a touchdown for Trevin Simon. So Ascension Catholic takes the lead 42-34. Wow, a lot of points in this one for teams that like to.
It's kind of been like that this year for Episcopal, though. A lot of high-scoring games.
Yeah, I know. But Episcopal, they're not backing down. Zach Hughes is going to throw to the corner and hit Malcolm Jubin for the touchdown. And they're going to go for 2. All right, field goal is not going to cut it in a game like this. So let's see. Well, they did not get it.
Yep.
So, yeah, there we go. So Ascension Catholic is going to try to put it away. Fernandez gets it to Simon, breaks the tackle. That's a long touchdown run to seal the game. And Ascension Catholic, they are supreme in the shootout, 49-40. How about that for Taylor James and company?
Yeah, Simon's one of the best running backs in the area. I think he's top 5 in total rushing yards. He kind of does everything for that team, though. So great response coming off the Dunham loss last week there.
Great stuff. And we got more Sportsline coming up after this.
Back to Sportsline Friday night. You know, Kevin, on Thursdays we have a little extra free time, so I try to make some trips, go see some places I haven't been to yet. Got to do that on Thursday.
You took a trip, all right.
I did, and you know what? I enjoyed it. Out in Washington Parish, Franklinton hosting Sumner. This was a great game last year. It was excellent again this year. Jamon Dyson barreling through some tackles. Good game there. They go back to him here on third down inside the 10-yard line. He cuts up the middle of the field and drags a demon over the goal line. Jules Sumner striking first at 7-0. Third down near midfield on the ensuing Franklinton drive. Ricardo Burris digests the handoff on a draw play, but Michael Hamilton, tell you what, he's been watching film. He stuffs that for a loss. Franklinton forced to punt it away. Moving to the second quarter, Franklinton faced with another third down. Jacob Crane takes the snap, exits the pocket, chucks it on the run, but it ends up in Vincent Sims' breadbasket. Big play by the freshman, and it gives Jules Sumner some good field position. The Cowboys maneuver into plus territory. Jeremiah Brooks pinballing forward here to move the sticks. Taking a couple guys with him in the process. The Pokes then on the edge of the end zone. Rashad Shai called upon to punch it in, and the junior does so confidently. Following his blockers into pay dirt, 14-0. Jules Sumner rolling on the road. Time winding down in the first half. The Demons searching for points. Crane directs his offense down the field. He rifles to Colin Stewart for a nice gain. First down inside the 20-yard line. And then Crane pulls it here on the RPO, fires a spiral to Dalton Freeman. And that gets Franklinton on the board, 14-7 at the half. Let's take it to the second. 14-7, of course. Sumner leading halfway through the third quarter. Crane with a screen pass to DeMichaels McClain, who speeds inside the 10. And then a minute later, the Demons call play action. Crane jumping Derek Jeter style, connecting with his tight end Freeman for the second time. That ties the game at 14. That'd be the score at the end of regulation. Sumner with the ball first in overtime. It's 4th and goal from the 1. Elijah Nealon under center, takes a snap, and falls over the painted white line for the go-ahead score, 21-14 Cowboys. Now Franklinton needs the touchdown to tie it up, keep the game going. This is 4th down. Jaden Burkhalter enters the game at quarterback, lost to the corner, broken up by Kennedy James. The Cowboys win 21-14. That's now back-to-back years. This matchup needed overtime to decide a winner. The Demons won it last year, but this time around it's the Cowboys, and they're 5-0.
Not gonna lie, anytime I watch Jules Sumner play, I think of the guys in the leather helmets because they do not throw the football.
They don't.
It is get under center, wing T. We're just gonna hand it off, old school. But
hey, it works.
It gets done. They're undefeated.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to let's remain with last night. A little Point Capee Parish rivalry as Catholic High Point Capee hosted Livonia, and early on it was the Livonia defense making the first big play as they're going to stuff with Michael Hart. They're going to strip him, and the Wildcats are going to be all over that one. And that sets up their offense in good field position. Let's see if they do anything with it. Cam Carter is going to drop back, survey the field, rolls to his right, got a man open. That's going to be Bo Stewart. High pointed for the first down, move those chains, and then later, hey, Mr. Carter, tell me where you've been. You know that one, John?
No, I don't, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Come on, man. That's
I'm sorry.
Lil Wayne, Weezy. But
teach me after the show.
regardless, Cam Carter scored a touchdown, 7-0 Wildcats. But Point Capee, Catholic High Point Capee, they're going to respond as Judd Morrison is going to hit DeMichael Hart for the first down, move those chains. And these Hornets, they love to run that football. And here we go. Little option pitch to Micah Nipple. And he's going to find his crease, break off down the sideline, 53 yards for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion was no good. So Livonia still in the lead, 7-6. Their offense is going to get it back. Here goes Mr. Carter. Screen pass, C.J. Aguilar breaks off a would-be tackler, brought down, but that's a first down. And then later, Carter's going to show that arm off again. Bo Stewart across the middle for the touchdown. 14-6, Wildcats got it going on. But here come the Hornets. They are not going to lay down to a parish rival. Morrison looks to pass, dodges a bunch of tackles. Still looking, able to stay on his feet. That's just
Are you
so
sure this
many
isn't the play of the day?
I mean, it's up there. It's up there.
Not as many
nice
yards,
effort.
but yeah.
Nice effort from Mr. Morrison. He might as well finish it off, and he sneaks in for the touchdown. 2-point conversion was no good. Again, 14-12. This was a shootout, folks. And in the end, Catholic High of Point Capee ended up outlasting Livonia 44-37. That is something.
Good stuff. A lot of shootouts on Sportsline here.
All right.
And we got more coming up. Stick with us.
Sportsline. It was homecoming at East Ascension, and congratulations to Heidi Blanchard, named the homecoming queen, as the Spartans led Live Oak 18-14 in the third quarter. The Eagles are trying to do something, but that is nothing, as Tayton Jones' pass is going to be tipped and intercepted by Micah Levy, who makes a nice return. And the Spartans offense is going to take advantage. Zaylen Smith rolls out, throws deep. Jade Urson, you out there? Yes, he is. That's a touchdown. 24-14 Spartans after the missed PAT. And East Ascension, they do not live their life on the edge in this one. They go on to win by the final of 38-21. Hey,
good.
Yeah. They are? All right. So, yeah, Sportsline Friday night. We got more to come on WBXH and also still streaming. We're going. Welcome back to Sportsline Friday night. Kevin Baptiste alongside John East. John, we talked about how Week 5 is mainly for district matchups, but you still got some games that are not those district contests, but they got a little bit of history with how close they are, and Donaldsonville and White Castle, that's one of them.
Yeah, and some teams off to great starts this season. Slaughter's 5-0, Donaldsonville entering this game 4-0. Coach Lee and company looking to add on to it here. White Castle at home, looks like they're ready to go, hosting the Tigers. Now, White Castle with the ball. Their quarterback here, Javon Woods, back to pass. Rolls out, chucks over the middle, but it's intercepted. Nice hands there by Aaron Thomas, stretching out to grab it and then collecting it off the tip to himself. White Castle will get the ball back on the 1-yard line, but Donaldsonville's defense gets a stop and a safety. As well, it's the second week in a row that the Donaldsonville defense, I believe, has gotten a safety. So 2-0 Tigers. And their quarterback here, Skylar Garrison, throwing to the back of the end zone to Keelan Taylor for the touchdown. So they add on to that early lead. It's now 9-0. Garrison then handing off to his running back, trying to drag a tackler with him. It's a good run there, picks up a first down. And Garrison spreads it outside. Receiver makes the catch. I believe that's Quentin Dabney, if I'm not mistaken. I think we have the wrong name on the sheet here. He runs away from everybody and over the goal line, and that made it 16-0. Donaldsonville, for all intents and purposes, well on its way to 5-0. Let's take a look at that final score, see if they did indeed get the win here. They did, 36-0. White Castle drops to 0-5, but Coach Lee and company just keep on winning, Kevin. I think they got a big game against Eastville coming up in a few weeks, too. So that's a must-attend.
And a side note for White Castle, I don't believe they scored a point yet this season. So it's still a work in progress over there at White Castle. All right, St. Michael was at Broadmoor, and the Bucks were vibing as Malachi Harris was feeling good for the game, but I don't think he felt good after this first play from scrimmage, as Brandon Thomas is going to be stripped by Champ Williams, and Quinn Wyndham is going to jump on it, and just like that, the Warriors offense is going to be set up with a goal-to-go situation, and a few plays later they punch it in as Nathan Contine powers his way into the end zone for 6. The extra point was blocked, so the Warriors already ahead. Ensuing drive for Broadmoor. They had a big play, got a little something going. They're going to run the jet sweep to Riker, Washington, but Peyton Dawson says no mas. He is all over it. And for the tackle for a loss, that's going to lead to a punt. So here goes St. Michael again on a 3rd down. Boogie! Leviston is going to throw deep. Johnny McCarty is going to catch it. 1st down. That puts the Warriors right back in a goal-to-go situation. And the very next play, little pitch to Deontay Campbell. He's going to fight, stretch his way over the line. What's the call, ref? The ref is going to say that is a touchdown. 12-0 St. Michael as we look at the final score. 46-8. So how about that for the Warriors? 5-0, undefeated on the season.
That's another team off to a 5-0 start. So congrats to Coach Leger and company on that. Moving down to the 2A ranks, we got, false start by me.
False start. It happens.
4A, we're moving up to 4A.
District 6 4A, Westfield at Plaquemine is 20-7 at this point, and Westfield's Brooke Abear goes to pass. That's going to be intercepted by Roderick Bingham. He had that pick 6 last week, right, John?
He had 2 last week. He just picks off passes. That's why he's committed to UL.
All right, ball magnet. Eh? Go Cajuns. All right.
That's your alma mater.
Brendan Miles reads the bell. He throws a short pass to Dejon Deloney for the 1st down. And then a few plays later, they're going to hand it off to Austin Young Jr. for the touchdown, 27-7. The Green Devils just having the ball. Okay, don't kill him. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him too much. Don't hurt him too much. Plaquemine's offense gets right back to it, and they're going to give it right back to Mr. Young. Keeps churning those legs. Ooh. Brought down, moved the chains. And then in the 4th quarter, lets Mr. Young finish what he's been doing. Pushes his way into the end zone for the touchdown, 33-7 Plaquemine. It looks like they had no troubles in that one. Look at the final score in that one. Yep, 39-7. So kind of a repeat. They lost week 1 and now they're just rolling.
Yeah. So the same team, right?
The same team. So yeah.
Ripped off a 4-game win streak since then. Now we'll go down to the 2A ranks. Baker on the road at Dunham. The Tigers needed a few weeks to make some renovations to their stadium, and I believe that those were done in preparation of this game. So here's the Tigers on offense. Jarvis Washington gets it on a jet sweep, bounces it outside, high-stepping his way into the end zone, kind of looking like Chad Ochocinco. You can name a number of different great receivers over the years that pulled that out. And Jarvis can do that, I'd say. Steve Claiborne handing off to Jesse Green, brought down by Charlie Myers. I'm sure Dad's happy about that. He's actually related to Kyle Williams, by the way, that family, the LSU defensive tackles coach. So maybe he taught him that at a family gathering or something of that regard. Haven with the short pass to Chris Thomas. His mom, Courtney's going to love this. Another touchdown. I said, hey, Chris has touchdowns in back-to-back games that I've attended, and he gets another one right there. I wasn't at this game, but it doesn't matter who's at the game. Chris Thomas is scoring touchdowns. 21-0 at that point. Dunham gets the win 49-0 over Baker.
This Texas, Dunham scoring a lot of points. That's just how it goes. All right, another game. Lutcher at Vanderbilt. You had that one, John?
That's right. Dwayne Jenkins, fresh off picking up his 100th career win as a head coach, taking his Bulldogs to Vanderbilt Catholic. This is just a bummer right here. There's 40 seconds left in the half. It's 4th and 15.
Oh, my.
And Vanderbilt Catholic gets a touchdown. Ethan Haney to his receiver there, Corey Bourgeois. And it's 7-0 at the break. You know, you think it's going to be a scoreless first half, but no. All it takes is one play. Haney making a mistake here, picked off by Derek Jackson. And the senior returns it up to right around the 40-yard line. Take another look at that. Give me that.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Now, the Dogs couldn't do anything with that takeaway, but on their next drive, they worked into plus territory here, and Jemiah Joseph had a big game against Liberty a few weeks back, hits the edge on 3rd and short, picks up the 1st down, and then some. And then Taryn Charles, their freshman quarterback, barreling up the middle, brought down inside the 10. The Bulldogs were stuffed from there, could only add a field goal, so it's 7-3. Haney, play action here late in the 4th quarter. This is Vanderbilt Catholic, not Vanderbilt, but he looks like Diego Pavia right here, finding his way inside the pylon. I think LSU fans are hoping that he does that to the Crimson Tide coming up on Saturday. Low-scoring game in this one, 14-3. Vanderbilt wins. They move to 5-0.
And place of that first touchdown, prevent defense, guys. Prevent defense.
It's a struggle for some teams around here. I'll leave it at that.
More Sportsline coming up after the break.
Memorial Stadium, Catholic High hosting Madison Richland Academy from Mississippi. Homecoming game, that's the Queen, Camille Masterson. Congratulations to her. The visiting team leading 9-7. Wade Hansford kicks a 50-yard field goal there, and it was good. So 12-7 now for the visitors. Baylor Graves, short pass to Cooper Lanza, knocked out of bounds. Watch out, Josh. Breaks a couple tackles, got the first down there. Then Jaden Miles going to keep it, sidestep a tackler, stay on his feet, and score. Catholic could not convert the two-point conversion, so it's 13-12. Bears still in front. Samuel Stockton passing here to Michael McCrory, spins out of a tackle, and 50 yards later, he's in the end zone. How about that for a swing of momentum? And they would add the two-point conversion as well. So now it's Madison Richland Academy leading 20-13. Four's up for the fourth quarter. MRA with the ball, intercepted here by Harrison Kadair, another raging Cajun commit. We've mentioned a couple on this show, and that is a pick six. Takes it all the way back, ties the game at 20. Madison Richland Academy back with it. Holt Adams.
Oh.
Ball's jarred loose and recovered by Catholic. But the refs would apparently call that a catch and then a tackle, and then I guess he was down. So they stay with the ball, they keep it, and then Colson O'Kane runs up the middle for the touchdown. So, man, crazy how things can change just like that after a quick conference. 27-20, the visitors leading. Miles has done this all season, keeping it in the Wildcat, gashing opposing defenses, a 58-yard score. But I guess they missed the PAT because I'm reading here. I guess they go for two. This is it here. Yeah, this was the two-point conversion attempt. Couldn't get through. He got stonewalled. So it's 27-26. Catholic went for the win there. Now Madison Richland Academy back with it. McCrory keeps, bobbles on the tackle. Right there. It looks like it's recovered by Catholic. They say it is. It clearly is. But again, the referees say he was down.
Wow.
And that would be the final score. 27-26. You know, Kevin, sometimes you host these schools from out of state. You think you might get the benefit of some good calls in your home field. Catholic got the benefit of that at Picayune a couple years ago, remember? In Mississippi, but not here, I guess.
I expect the replay debate to come up at the next LHSA meeting.
No doubt.
Because that's something. All right, so Catholic's going to play Central in a few weeks, but tonight Central was hosting Lafayette Christian, and it was also Central's homecoming. But first drive for LCA, they wasted no time. Second play of the game, Braylon Walker launches deep down the sideline and is going to hit Braden Allen for a big pickup, almost a touchdown. Here comes the touchdown as Caden Ballard is going to take it up the middle and goes in standing up 7-0 Knights. Second quarter, Central down 21-0. 21-0. Let's see what David Seminoy Company, what they got. Max Gassiot, one of the two quarterbacks, calls his own number. And it pays off. Down the left sideline, gets inside the pylon for the touchdown, 21-7. In the second half, it's now 35-21. LCA still in front. They're going to have their other quarterback. No, Central is going to have their other quarterback, Ja'Cory Pratt. Throws deep down the sideline, but that's intercepted by Draylon August. And the Knights will capitalize off of that as Walker, after the Knights defense celebrates, Walker is going to take another deep shot. Draylon August makes the play. That's a touchdown, and LCA would go on to win 55-48 to hand Central their first loss of the season. But I guess the Wildcats, they showed some good fight in that one.
They did, yeah. Down 21-0. Made it interesting down the stretch, and a good test there. You know, a good non-district challenge for yourself to kind of see what you got.
All right, we got District 5-5A, Prairieville, hosting Walker. Of course, our Robert Holland, photog with the amazing shots. Prairieville trying to do something, but they end up turning the ball over as Cale Daigle is going to be stripped and Walker gets it back. Their offense trying to do something, but the Hurricane defense flexing as Cade Abear is there for the sack. And Prairieville's defense, they just getting started. Going to be another sack, so that D-line hunting. So let's see if Walker can get something going, but Prairieville's defense steps up again. Cade Abear not only gets the interception, but he also gets the pick six, 7-0. The Hurricanes to get on the board first. Second quarter now, same score. Here comes their offense. Skylar Kelly rolls out makes some moves, and man, this guy is quite the athlete. Seems like every week he's making some type of highlight where he shows off his running ability, and he does it again right here. That's a touchdown, 14-0 Hurricanes. Did they hold on to the lead for the win? What's the final score in this one with Prairieville and Walker? Ooh, wow, they held on just barely, 28-23. I'm telling you, man, that program, they are making progress.
They are. Yeah, that's a big win in kind of moving that program in the direction they want to go. Obviously, last year, their first year ever and first year of varsity, and that's a nice one to hang your hat on.
That's
no doubt right there.
That's a good one.
All right, we got Springfield and Central Private. Homecoming night for the Bulldogs, hosting the Red Hawks. First drive of the game, Lake and Laudermilk. Lobs a pass to Seth Hatfield. He's dragged down inside the 3-yard line. We interviewed both of those guys for our Sportsline Summer Camp Series. Team leaders for the Red Hawks there. And then Laudermilk finishes the drive with a strong run over the goal line. And 7-0, Central Private, the road team in front. Springfield responding with a long run from Ethan Lipscomb. I believe you interviewed him this summer as well. So we're getting all the guys involved here that we spoke with to learn about their teams.
There's a reason they were interviewed.
That's right. They're the best player.
There's a reason.
So he's brought down just near the red zone, and then Lipscomb with it again, bouncing it outside, runs away from everybody and into the end zone for the touchdown. It was 7-6 at that point. And Springfield will actually go on to win this game. It says here 42-34. So didn't see a lot of scoring there. There's a nice defensive play, but it ended up being another shootout. We promised some more shootouts. There's another one right there, and the Bulldogs get it done.
We got a nice mix of close games and blowouts for this week of Sportsline Friday night. And we got some more highlights coming up after this.
Don't forget this number right here.
There you go. Under the water tower, Kentwood hosting Amite. 6-0 Kangaroos early in the second quarter. The Warriors driving. Drew Palmer bursts into the end zone on a QB keeper. And Amite takes the 7-6 lead thanks to that. The Roos looking to respond. Jamarius Campbell shot out of the cannon here. After taking the handoff, he collects a handful of yards and picks up a first down. A few plays later, it's 4th down. Caleb McGee dropping back. Can't find anyone. Steps up and is spun down by Micah Johnson. So Kentwood turns it over on down. Skipping ahead to the fourth quarter, same score. Ahmad Bickham Jr. in at quarterback due to an injury. He's in trouble. Watch this, Kevin. He'll flick it, and the offensive lineman here catches it. He's like, what do I do? What do I do? He finally takes off and runs. That was Zayden McKnight. He got a couple of yards, but Alonzo Ard chopped him down. Nobody was even mad about that, really. Everybody was just kind of laughing at that point.
That's every big man's dream.
Yeah. You just wish it would have been a first down, I guess. So Amite driving later in the game. Jamyron Dillon weaving through his blockers and into the end zone for the Warriors touchdown there, 14-6. The Warriors have it again a few minutes later. Palmer rolls right. This is third down. He's running out of time, and he drops the ball. Ivan Williams and Jaden Cohn chase him down. It's recovered by Joshua Roberts, so here's Kentwood with a chance to tie the game potentially. Big swing of momentum. Bickham fakes the pitch, throws over the middle, but it is intercepted. Lionel Perkins all over the slant, and the junior speeds back the other way across the 40. Now Zephaniah Powell and company just looking to chew clock from there, but Art takes the handoff here, the direct snap, and he'll break loose, turbos all the way to the crib, and even off the wooden fence. Amite wins its third straight game after starting the season 0-2, and the Warriors victorious on Thursday, and it was a late night, 21-6.
There's going to be a lot of trash talk along that I-55 corridor from those Amite fans. All right. Northeast, they were hosting Slaughter Community Charter, undefeated Slaughter Community Charter at that. And here comes Slaughter's Tykemian Ford showing off the speed on the very first play of the game, calling his own number and making it do what it do, taking it to the house for the early touchdown. 6-0 Slaughter at that point. With Northeast, let's see how they respond. They're trying to replicate that as Jordan Sampson behind center, but he is going to get blasted in the backfield for a loss. He was a little slow to get up, but he did eventually get up, so now he's still in the game. Sampson using his arm, dumps it off to Marcus Collins for a small gain, brought down by Keller Spinks. And then from there, Northeast, Sampson, underneath the Collins again. He is brought down instantly, and that is a turnover on down. So a nice stand by the Slaughter defense. And here he goes again. That man, Tykemian Ford, calling his own number. And he is just breaking off to the races. Anybody going to catch him? I don't think so. Put 6 more on the board for Slaughter, and they remain undefeated, 24-0. They're going to face Eastvale next week.
Yep.
More scores in this one. Port Allen get their second win of the season, 27-14 over Glen Oaks. Albany, they beat Jefferson Rise 32-20. Terra still searching for that first win as they lose to McKinley 18-0. So John, another week in the books. What stuck out to you the most?
Well, the district games lived up to the hype, and it was great football. A lot of points.
All right. For John Needs, I'm Kevin Baptiste. That wraps up another week. Catch us next week.